teach them for 30 minutes. Out of that 80, you teach them for 30 minutes as a teacher. Just give them summary or overview of whatever you want to teach. And then you ask them to go to their groups to brainstorm with the peer leader coordinating them. All they need to do is ask questions and everybody will answer. Everybody knows something. The unique thing about peer leader is that the teacher will not be there when they are doing a group session. So nobody is afraid of being flogged or being scolded for not saying the right thing. So just say anything you want to say with your friends. That's why it is unique. And then after that, they will have a report, a consensus report that they will now take back to the teacher. And then the teacher will look at all the reports and see if there's anything that's needed to be touched. And that's what the teacher will do first in the next class. And then during the session, you make sure that the care leader knows what next they are going to learn, so that will be given to them as assignments. At that point, you can flip the classroom. You know what flip classroom is now? You know what flip classroom strategy is? Don't you? Flip classroom is a learning strategy where the class activity is turned upside down. Normally, after teaching, you give assignments for your students to go home and learn more. But in flip classroom, you give assignments first before you teach. That's the flip nature of the classroom. You give assignment in form of send videos to them, you give them notes, online services, and then the students will go and then come back for you to teach them. That's the classroom. So at this point, it's the peer leaders should be able to understand how to flip the classroom, that they just give them things that they will use to prepare for the next class. And that is peer-led team learning. This method is pretty like the teacher had taught them. They will go back to their home and learn. If they are preparing for any exam, by the time they rush through it, it is very easy for them to remember. Retention is made very easy, so that at any point you call somebody that has discussed with friends about a particular concept, it is very easy for them to remember what they have done. So at this point, I have the cell as an example. Prepare the lesson plan for the cell. So the students in 35 minutes, and then uses 5 minutes to group the students for PLTL. And experts aside for the students to continue learning as groups. The teacher observes the students from a distance, not to participate in the learning session at all, and then needs them to get thoughts of the learning session. Okay? Now, what are they going to be doing in the learning session? The first thing is to ask them questions. That's the peer leader. The peer leader that will be coordinating, so the person will be asking, and also learning, because in this case now, this one that is for the secondary school, you're learning the same thing that your classmates are learning, because you are using classmates to handle peer leadership. So in the higher institution, it's easier to use somebody that has passed, and in that case, it will not be during the lesson time that you will in secondary school. Now you ask them questions like, do you understand? What do you understand by a cell? What's a cell? And anybody will say what's it. You'll be surprised the kind of definition that the students will be giving. Fine, the teacher would have taught them. But at this point, in your own view, in your own words, tell us what you think a cell is. And then you see all the definitions of the
mitochondria, graminomolas, economy, and many, many other things. Huh? Yes. I think it's okay.
The second issue is that they make another major issue that confronts teachers. You are telling from experience is that you are not over the theory of the practical. Because personally, I cannot teach my students. I cannot take you to the lab to do any practical chemistry without fully equipping you with the theoretical knowledge. Because chemistry is a subject that it is, as you are carrying out the experiment, whatever observation you have to record. And if in theory is not fully embedded in you, every other thing you are doing theoretically, you do practically, is a guesswork. Because if you don't understand, because let me give you an instance. You know that, like this acid-base titration, you know that the major this thing we use is acid. That's A, that's level A. Then the base is B. That's sample A is acid, sample B is base. Then you'll be giving methyl orange or screen methyl orange. Or phenolphthalein, depending on whether you are using strong acid versus the weak base, or weak base versus strong acid. Because the choice of the indicator is based on the concentration of the acid you are going to use and the base. Because we all know it. That is the theory of the indicator. Because it is indicator that will give you the end point. Are we following? So now, the acid is A, base is B, methyl orange or screen methyl orange or phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein. Now, then you are using weak acid versus strong base, you use phenolphthalein. But if you are using strong acid and strong base, you use phenolphthalein. So you use a methyl orange or screen methyl orange as a case may be. Now, you see that the basic equipment we use, you all know it. You use the burette, you use the burette, you use the burette for the acid. Then you pipette the base. And you don't know what the pipette is either 20 cm or 25 cm as the case may be. And for every school, you know where gives that instruction. You must use either 20 or 25 or and then you take your plate, and they have to rinse, have to do the rinse. After giving them all the precautions needed, then you not teach them how to partake the best. That's you demonstrating for them. After the demonstration, using water. Listen, normally, most of the students have never seen all these equipments. They have never seen all these reagents we are using, like acid and base and the rest of them. That is what I personally representing the base. Then I'll bring, because normally you don't partake it, I take note of that. And then we encourage them to wear that coat in class, because you know, as only school level, when I was teaching this only school, as only school level, and make sure that every of my babies wear that coat. So I felt, not of it is state school, you should enforce it. They should buy that coat first for their safety. Because everything in the lab is safety first. If they put on their lab coat, it will give them at least that safety consciousness. And then you don't allow them to taste anything. In order for us to pass it up. So I would say that when you teach them to partake in base, then using the water, you transfer it, you ask them to transfer it into the beaker and into the conical flask. You teach them how to practice it and master it. So that after examination situation of my they know that the indicator, if you add it in excess, it will affect the endpoint. And if you add it too small, too set, you cannot pop the apparatus. You cannot pop the apparatus. There is no standard exam. Do the rinsing, keep it. Add the acid into the urine.
We are walking on the streets for about 5-10 years, looking for work until when he was eventually employed in the same school I was in. That year did not pass him, or the following year, he was removed from that. Why? Because he was all Please, teachers, don't encourage your children to do examination of a practice, because they will come out and sell your property. They will come out and become users to you first for society. If you are involved in writing an exam for children and they are sending you money, beware, because you don't know tomorrow. All through my training, students, teacher students, or student teachers, I never collected bribe. During teaching practice supervision, some teachers will do, and the students will buy entertainment for them, put passport in their pocket, and they will be going. And I will tell my students, I am supposed to be not you. And the children will shake me to their heart. But in our school system, we mold our face from primary to university to collect money from our children. Some of them will tell you it is not a way of looking for money. It is not a way of coming out of poverty. First of all, come out from your poverty of knowledge. You were at the opening yesterday, some of you, not all of you. At the opening, the professor that gave the people address, you saw the way he was talking to us. The students that were not vibrant, when some teachers were teaching them, when the teacher enters the class, they became vibrant. They are engaged in one project or the other, and they are coming up with AI tools in different forms. Like that's what we should do for our children. When I was training my children will come back and tell me, in their private school that I put there are two different categories of people when they are writing the exam. Some people are in heaven, as everybody reading, as everybody reading, because anything new person that just go. When exam time comes, some people will see this way like this. These are the exam and practice. And this have instructed them, don't engage in exam and practice. And they take strictly to it. And they are in hell. So, my children at home, when they come, I look at what they have done. I groom them. Today, they are all strong. My last born is an architect. Everybody is looking for him now. When he designs a building for me, he's getting work from neighbors, from people. So he will just sit down and carry his computer to people. They ask and start designing. Please don't encourage your children by giving them money for exam and practice that are destroying their career and their life. You don't engage in it because you are destroying Nigeria. Like I was telling you, most of the teachers that taught and supervising them. And I wrote a book. I don't know if the book nearer you. Nobody has the book. I think I gave her the last book. I call it I Survive. I survived. Because I survived all those hatreds. Children hate me, students hate me, but today, some of them love me. Because somebody called me from far and said, I want to attend this program. I was one of your students, and because of exam, I couldn't. These are the private. In your school, the old are there, but the new ones are not there. Go for, if you are teaching 4 to 5, go for basic science and technology. The curriculum now that they have produced is gradually going to roll in to roll back the old one. So in 3 years' time, you will not see the old curriculum of 2012. You are going to see the new curriculum of 2025. And if you stick to a curriculum, you are going to produce children that will compete with China. When I was growing up, China produced all kinds of bombs that contain life, that contain this, and they buy and they push it to Nigeria, and Nigerians buy it for their children. Growing little children that are learning how to walk, they will give them bomb from China, and it will be making.
All we need to do is dotted lines are always emphasized when it comes to focus. We know we are talking about
Somebody looking at it. It's not the original shape.
it's okay. So what does
It's not part of the shape.
okay. Let us start.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dotted line.
Because you dotted line, you know that it's a constructed line. Thank you. All right. Now we have two isosceles triangles. You can look at it very well. This one is a radii. This one is a radii. This is an isosceles triangle. This one is radii. This one is a radius. This one is another radius. Radius, radius, radius. Three radii. Now, let us name this angle here A1. If this one is A1, this one will be A2. Name this angle B1. This one will be B2. Now, let us see how we can carry out the proof. In triangle ABO. In triangle ABO. This one is not 0, it's O. In triangle ABO. A1 is equal to A2. Is it true? Why? Base angles of isosceles triangle. Base angles of in the same triangle, we have AON. This angle is equal to A1 plus A2. Is this true? Why? Exterior angle property of a triangle. So we can easily say that similarly,
Really? When went out, it's true. Why is it opening? Did you work for them? You've been working on it. The reason why we are not using that amphitheater is because they are doing like 4 things at once.
You have done it one after the other.
One after. Do you know how long to stay here? You know that
started by
you
9
know
or
our
10.
teachers, right? And you also know Nigeria. You start by 9 or 10, but actually start 11. Which is 10 at the top.
The men studying and they are teaching.
So these are one of the challenges. Like I was trying to remind us of yesterday that I was watching somebody went to hospital. I didn't see a doctor, but was attended. There was also prescribed drugs for him. It was all done by the machine. He pressed the button and removed his payments and left without seeing a doctor. I saw that. I also saw where the doctor actually doing that. That's the AI tool. So when he was saying it yesterday, I understood based on what I saw. Like we said, when you want to, for children to actually catch up something is what they see, and what they
do
practice or they do.
Those ones
with
stick-
their
they stick
hand.
more.
Those ones stick more to their brain. So you can see the challenges. Even the robot takes care of babies.
Yes.
When the parents travel completely. So now this type of equipment or device in Nigeria or in our schools, in the class. Yes, our emphasis now is on classroom. Available. Like they told us yesterday. You know, making lesson plan is a difficult thing, and most times it's stressful. What do they call it? Nominal rule. If we just click and
Yes,
we just
forward
forward it
to the office.
and they get it. This time our credential gets missing on the way. They want to explain method of cooking method. You say you want to make more practical we do. Teach them how to wash, you do and begin to write. Take the whole of the time. Most practical, only very few.
Can be
Yes.
done in a day.
Except soap making.
Can be done in a day.
With it long. And they are trying to say,
And the
which
day
is
you want to do the practical, they will understand
they
more.
will understand it more because they have seen it.
They will even do the thing and you just look at it. Just
And they will better. So
Everything
all
we are discussing,
made easier decisions.
whatever we are discussing, you can see the benefits, how to collaborate, where all these equipments are well. By the time we know, within 2 months, 3 months, it's away.
Yes.
By the time we know,
Yes.
we start afresh.
Yes.
Sometimes you see they will come and vandalize everywhere.
Oh yeah.
In the night, the students all want to make use of the laptop in the laboratory. You know, it's praying with this administrator or with our commissioner, Dr. Peters, things will get better. And with this AI tools they are trying to introduce, the teachers need to be equipped
Exactly.
so that standing, the teacher standing knows what to deliver. Because she offering, what will she give? And that's why you ask unnecessary questions, because they know that teacher is to get better in this 21st century.
When the trained teacher is a requirement. Because if the teacher doesn't
have highlighted the 3 points. That definition of community, we need to understand that it's the periodic motion. The periodic motion of is directed towards a fixed point, which we must be very, very careful to elaborate on fixed point. What is the fixed point? The fixed point sometimes the children will be confused when you just measure a leg. It's also called the central position, the equilibrium point, the rest position. And this object is not displayed, neither is where it's resting. That point is resting now is the central position. It is the center of motion. It is the equilibrium position. It's for horizontal, you go to the extreme end, get a point and stop. You turn back to another point and stop. If you measure from the center position to one side, it will be exactly the same when you measure from this side to the other side. It just should be when like this. So I believe that if you pay more attention, that is where we are trying to use AI tools to replace. But how many, even the AI tool, it's even more expensive.
AI tools, you need audiovisuals.
Thank you. That is what I'm telling you now. That why we are here now. Even the things we are talking about, I think it's even easier for me to achieve this myself than the other one. The AI, the time system. So even if you project, you have to project. That is not more expensive that even we can achieve a ruler cheap. Even if I don't have a mass, I can tie a stone here, so that it will give me a displacement.
Yeah.
Right? Then I can look for something. If I have probably
a block,
a rod, or
even
a block here,
a block.
I can put a block here. Thank you, sir. I can put a block here, right, to hold this. Exactly. So the bulk is not measured. So if I have any rope, I can tie it to anything. I can tie it somewhere and something. Right? I can get spring cheaper. So some of these things are mine.
Hello.
The only thing that will make this very expensive, even if you have cheaper ones, is a stopwatch. Like this one now is about this one is 120,000 naira. Before now it was cheap. It's 120. This balance spring. This one, this is 120,000 naira. The best one. Apart from zero again to the other side. That means they are like two motion now, half and half. Okay, that is the reason why we compare it with a circular motion. Circular motion. The distance, higher distance. So any other displacement, we call it. You can use X to represent it. Yeah. Right. So as it's moving, it has not get to where it is what A. That means A is part of X. Any distance is X. A is what? Highest X.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So if you pick A as highest X, X is at any point, you can find the speed. And the speed at any point is what? Is V equal to omega square root of A squared minus S squared. Where A is what? Is the highest of X, highest displacement, it will move one side. And X is what? Any distance, you are measuring the speed. So at point, that means X is 0 there. True of course.
Yeah.
X is 0 there.
Yeah.
So where X is 0 as stop position, you know that X is 0. Then we only have what? V equal to omega square. How many of you know omega? Look at the differentiation between omega and this. That was what I was trying to differentiate. Because you must understood simple circular motion and then linear motion. So that when you are using omega, you know that it's what? It's an angular velocity. You have linear velocity V or U, as case may be. You have what? Angular velocity. Okay? You have angular distance, linear distance, you have angular distance. Remember, this one is measured in meters, centimeter, in decimeter, as case may be, or meters as SI unit. This is measured what? In teachers, this is measured what?
Radians.
Degrees, radius, or radius is what? The SI unit. Now, that means with the radius of an object moving in a circle, it means when the object moves round a circle, one circumference is equal to one oscillation.
One complete oscillation.
That oscillation will be equal to what? One complete circle. If the amplitude and radius of the circle are the same. You get it now? So that is the reason why here we now use this formula here. Because here we have V is what? Distance over what? Time t. We have a omega equal to what? Angular distance over what? Time t. Okay? When the object moves around once, which is same thing as one oscillation, it's a what? It's what? The distance is what? 2 pi. One oscillation is 2 pi. 360 degrees. Yeah? The distance is what? 360 degrees. When you move round the circle is what? 360 degrees. What? 2 pi radius. I mean that for one round, okay, you have that. And that one round, the time taking to move round once has a special name. Time taking for period. Time taking for every motion to just complete one oscillation, one beat. Now remember, let's do a donor at one beat. So a question came out in IGCSE, the Cambridge.
What of the crest?
Yeah?
The crest.
Just like I showed you.
The highest maximum.
Okay, the maximum.
Point. Trough is okay.
No.
Having what?
Cosine curve.
Cosine curve.
To start with the crest.
It was the crest, yes.
Then
Start from crest.
we'll
Yes.
take the next one.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Even when we enter this, if you see questions, no, see that will make you to learn.
You have to.
You learn.
By force and prayer, you have to.
Oh, enter the interference and the sound waves.
Okay.
Then other sound pipes. For questions. So that's the thing that we should make sure that we display. So we have this, and then at the point of it. No, the last third point, last one. Its acceleration is also what? Directly proportional to the displacement from the phase point. I mean, it's displacement of the measure from the phase point. So if I measure displacement from the phase point at the displacement at zero, okay, that means that if acceleration is what? Is directly proportional to the displacement measured from the phase point. What does it mean? Directly proportional means that when two quantities are directly proportional, as one is increasing, the other one is also what? Increasing. It means acceleration will increase when displacement increases. A squared minus x squared. I also have acceleration to be equal to minus omega squared x. Then I will now prove now, and then let us tell the student now where what happened to the acceleration and then the speed at x. It's mechanical energy. Just mark.
No, but it's not. It's wrong.
Yes.
Because
Mechanical is a sub form of energy.
yes.
So kinetic and potential, they are other mechanical
They are
energy.
under
Exactly. That doesn't measure mechanical energy.
potential and
You should not.
kinetic. They are under mechanical.
So why do you have this minus here? I told you before now that if the object is moving from the center to this side, acceleration is opposite.
It's always coming back.
Because the distance x has a direction that it is pointing away from the center to the end it's moving to. If it's moving to this end, it points to that end. If you move to this end, it points to this end. That is the direction of the distance. But as it's pointing to this end, oh my God. Yes, education.
Okay. Somebody's coming.
So it points to this direction. Acceleration is always against it. So you see that as you move it this way, acceleration is what? Pointing away. Go this way, pointing away. Acceleration is now directed towards the first point. You get it now? As it's moving this way, as it's moving, okay, it's moving now. Okay, let me for those people, that why it's wobbling because I'm giving a very high position. Now, as it's going up, yes, it's coming up.
Equal and opposite.
That one should go up a little.
You see it now? So as it's coming this way, this side is coming this way. Acceleration is opposite. As you get to this place, that's why you say acceleration is what? It's always directed towards
Of my phone. I don't know. Let me check. No, I just wanted to go off. I don't want what I did to be shown. So, so they are all here.
So this.
No, I don't know. I'm just following him as he's going.
Eh?
I'm just following him as he's going. There's enough network outside.
Yeah.
That's one thing to reach the end here. Won't you go inside? To go and sit down now. Where? Where? I think they are done. Touch the back of this one.
Huh?
Touch the back of this one. This can fry egg. No, I don't know. I just came here and seen it.
When they put it. That one is it hot?
No, this one does still get hot.
Put that phone to put down.
I don't know who get all these bags here. Anybody will come here and no see him bag. I don't tire.
But the problem is institutions, especially our Nigerian-based institutions, don't have this ethics specified. So how do you now find out levels of ordinaries when you don't have ethics? Okay. Based on already from publishers and institutions of below contents, I listed those ethics. That's what we want to know. That's what I did. Okay. The ethics are based on disclosures. Disclosing which AI tools you use in generating your content. Which of the AI tools do you use? What is the prompt do you give the AI tool? So the ethics centers on disclosure, authorship. Some institutions, some publishers will tell you use AI tools, okay? Also, don't include them as authors in your work, but acknowledge it in your acknowledgement section. So these are ethics, okay? The ethics also talk about that you should check for plagiarism. When you submit work, when you prompt AI, assuming you're a researcher, you prompt AI and ask AI, okay, generate content for me, put citation, put references. You see AI, it will give you what you have asked for. But the problem is that all those content, are they real? So as an ethics, AI content ethics, you have to check those contents, confirm it with reliable sources, confirm them by maybe using expert views on that same topic. Go out from AI platform, go to normal Google search, type, and you see maybe publishers' comments or publishers' work on that same topic. Confirm those contents. So these are ethics. Don't just copy and paste. Even the references, you find out that most of the references and citations that AI generate, that most of them are fake.
What it is, okay? We cannot just assume that we know, because we don't. Sorry. We should establish that this form, and before you go now, find out what can take anything. To get authentic, when we were talking of the students getting authentic results. So if we want to get authentic results, we need to, this is not look like something that passes through validation. That's the questionnaire. Because
commercial, as you can see, she's being covered live. So you're being covered live. Please, on our platform, go to the page, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that why do I have network? And I collect my network, subscribe. Or when you go home, subscribe. But you're being covered live. People in the international space station are seeing you. Thank you. They want to see everybody, so once they are
I've done well, eh? But let me start from the top. You see, the topic, why education science? Why education science student? Why not science education student? Is there any difference?
Okay.
you talking about science education students?
Yeah, but the things we can change it.
No. It doesn't make any meaning. It makes more meaning when you say science education students.
Okay.
Yes. Than when you say educational science students. Okay.
Okay. Then, my sorry, the study carried out students in curriculum studies and educational technology. The best of the faculty. So, if they are regarded as education science students, then we have science education departments. So, because these students, for this particular research, science.
So in uniform, you have science education department, I know that. But I graduated when they were still together. As curriculum and everything together. Now they have bundled it to science education. And you said the people you work with were not the science education students. They were the curriculum students. But of science education company, I don't understand that part.
Yes, people that study, in curriculum, there are different options. So this particular student has studied science and majoring in science subjects, chemistry, biology, physics.
Even in curriculum. Okay, then you have said curriculum students and science education also something like that.
But I think we should change it to science education. That's what all of us know.
That is what we all know. They are science education students, even though they are not in the department of science education. Are you getting me? Because the important thing is that they are taking science education curriculum. Being with science education students is all embracing. Then again, when you say the Gen AI content utilization before ethical awareness, I think it should be awareness first. Before utilization. So in return, in fact,
Sorry, sir.
you are level of measurement. I'm on page 7 now. Your level of measurement, first page is there. You are using 5 levels of measurement instead of 4. They are moving to 4 now instead of 5. You are still comfortable with 5. Okay, look at it. Then, my colleague has read that earlier about page 8. The item statement are clumsy. You look at the items, they are so highly worded. They are highly worded, more than one sentence. Very long. So see how to reduce it or to break them down. Page 10. Page 10. Page 10. What is the sample size you use on the first thing? You have sample size is how many? Your sample size is 93, yeah? Are we together?
Yes.
Please, Doc, let me see it. Your sample size is 93. And you use this 93 all through the study. Meaning that for all these things, you are talking about the 93 people. Are we right? Okay. This DL means what on that page? Degree of freedom. By the time you have a sample size of 93, your degree of freedom should be 91.
Sorry, sir.
Are we right?
Sorry, sometimes it varies based on the research. So
proper measurement. I don't agree with you using chi-square to measure relationship. Because that is the thing here. This relationship you are measuring, and you are using chi-square. Chi-square, you use chi-square when you have some length. If that goes through, then it means that the degree of freedom will also be affected. The same thing goes to the second table. That's my concern is you are supposed to go into the index.
Sorry, sir. I want to correct it, but I believe that the chi-square is the right measurement. You see, you are measuring the extent, and the table use modular data as very high extent. So what the chi-square is used to measure the association test.
When you use chi-square to measure, are you aware you should have expected?
Yes,
So where is the expected?
everything has been incorporated in the SPSS this thing, but it's good too.
I'm done.
I just went downstairs. No.
I moved around. I was here by this, and now move around after the other. Yeah, yes, but what would you after a while?
It's not this side. Down. Yes, down. Last thing to do.
Let me see what it is.
Is there space in the front?
I'm not saying, when you go like move around,
Okay.
you understand? Just move around.
Okay, there's a chair there.
Now, artificial intelligence has become so rampant that almost every field is applying AI in their area. So, because of this conference that has to do with education, we want to see how we can model a software that can help teachers and students to interact, especially in this country where we have a lot of challenges. So the topic once more is computational modeling and simulation of an artificial intelligence
driven learning system for enhancing sustainable STEM education in low-resource Nigerian secondary schools. AI improves learning through personalization, feedback, and analytics. AI can make you have a personal learning. AI can make even the person, if you don't want to learn alone, if you're learning with somebody, AI can make it possible for you to have feedbacks. And then, in as much as we enjoy this AI era, there are challenges.
Now, while you were talking, you tried looking at the strengths and weaknesses of the current AI that is in vogue as we speak, and how we can also utilize the model that will do better work, like enhance teaching and learning. But then, while we were talking, I also found some loopholes in. I was trying to connect certain things in what you were saying. I could not. So one of them is students' performance. Yes. So from what you have said, and from everything you have actually said here now, I actually don't see it being as effective as you actually claim, based on the fact that one, the person must have to be in the classroom or in the school before the person can use this tool. If I'm coming, if not, then it will amount to us having to buy the software manually or having to install from Play Stores. And if that is the case, it means we're still going back to the phase of internet.
Thank you. I think I've gotten your point. Now, I think maybe I need to stress that area properly.
Thank you.
Now, in the field of computing, especially in this era of digital age, software, you have to be real time on the internet as you are using it. Now, what that means is, at any point in time, if you lose internet connection, lost internet connection, or no signal strength, it means that you'll be shut off. Now, over-dependence on the internet is what we are actually against. What we're trying to do is, this system is such that you can download it offline. Normally, you must connect to the internet to download now. Whether it's on Google Play Store or any store you want to download from. When you download it, it cannot have the money to always, buy, get the point, always buy that data. About I mentioned usually when you are not always connected to the internet to use it. And so at any point in time, when you can download, when the software can be downloaded and be used offline, that makes it kind of bit cheaper to be used. But at any point that you want to learn, imagine learning for 4 hours and you're running data. Not everybody will have such resources.
Okay, so I say that
you can download it offline and use it.
give us access now. Yeah, now. You can download and then use later.
It has not been hosted yet. Yes, but it has been developed.
Now, all those things. We look at page what now? It says figure 5 presents our proposed systems output sample. This is captured.
Yes.
Proposed, this is proposed.
We call it proposed because there is already an existing one. But sometimes we also call it the new system or the proposed system.
If this work has all these results inside, why do you call it proposed?
That's actually why we use it in computer science.
No.
So sometimes we can say, okay, the new system or the proposed system.
Can you? What do you mean? What were they called?
Now, that was training. You see, we're talking about simulation. Can I answer this? So I won't forget.
Take this together. What were they taught and what instrument, how were they assessed?
Thank you. You see, this thing we're talking about now is something that is happening online. Kind of. It's not real life something. And now we're such that the way we interact with students in the classroom is how the system will work. Teachers will create an account in that software. Students will create an account. By the time they log in, there will be interaction phase. Like I wanted to show you the, I don't know, we'll have PowerPoint and I'll show you the interface. The interaction interface, and teachers and students can actually interact. Now, after the interaction, which is a kind of teaching, on the area of science, the system will assess them, score them, and predict their performances. If a child is actually at risk.
Engagement, yes.
Yes.
Engagement, yes. Performance in what?
Performance in all what the subject they are learning. For example, courses now.
Wait. This was an effective problem in the work, right? Hello, please. Let's learn. Sex them. People that you use. Let me use that grammar.
Yes. For the testing.
For the technical sample that you use.
Yes.
What were they doing?
They have to create accounts and log into that system. It is important what they have done in the system will be able to do that performance. Yes. That's what the system does. That one is personalized.
In what?
In the areas, subject areas where they have difficulty. For example now, if it is mathematics, and the person has difficulty, maths, chemistry, physics, biology, and all the rest.
Nobody is against it. I want to know what.
That's science subjects. Chemistry, physics, mathematics, biology. No, what they check is the purpose of this is to enhance performance. Now normally there will be a before. Hold on. If they have asked me a question, I'm asking, you have to hold on to hear it and that one. Please, to make it clear, if for example the child has difficulty in chemistry, somebody is talking now, please, one house. Pass it to the left.
that you know the difference between what you have proposed and what existed. So you don't discuss
question is, how can this technology be adopted in a low resource facility implemented in that area? No source of power, that's electricity, and the rural region of Nigeria. So how can it be adopted?
Like I said, even as start and usually like the water they use cell phones. They use cell phones. Even though they're not using high performance systems, they use cell phones and some maybe affordable systems there. But the only difference now, let's say that the existing systems now are usually for high performance systems and maybe, like I said, by the time a child downloads the software, you don't need to buy data to be using it. And if you are able to cut down the cost of always buying data and then over time not to log into the system.
Thank you very much.
It does not make any difference. The light, yes, it's on, but it does not make any difference. Still that one.
For local livelihoods,
Hey. I told him I should give it to them. Say I can give it to him, but Mr. Bright is using it.
of the river,
Let me go and
there are significant to assess pollution, and there are also biological indicators in rivers, streams, and lakes. So they can be distinguished according to the type of their and also stabilize the substrate. We are talking about benthic organisms. Statement of the problem. We know that the quality of body or surface water, such as rivers and streams or groundwater, are vital ecosystems. They sustain life of humans and animals. And so it's a function of either both or natural influences from human activities. The globe is facing, especially Nigeria and Africa at large. Also, the environmental degradation, therefore putting substantial pressure on aquatic integrate artificial intelligence tools in studying benthic fauna. And the objective is to ascertain the composition of this benthic fauna and deep learning model. So we had our results. The results show 914 were from almost river, and then organizations were found. Some of them were analysts, technologists, the ones, the oligarchies. The non-criminals. We also had some model style. There were also insects that were being recorded live during the war. And also had some examples that were produced overseas. Some of the examples of the ones that were found. So we did diversity analysis, even Magdalene indices, and we noticed that there was some variation between Omo River and the Green River. So there are various levels there. But going to our discussion, after the cross different chapter 18, almost showed a higher total count of macro-benthic organisms than Ikiri River. The most abundant were Notomamus and Chironomous species. Then we also compared the works that other people had. We noticed maybe they have been over-harvesting or over-exploitation that is making my values to be that low. Because we had somebody, Oyediran, that worked in Ishagu, southeastern Nigeria, of these organisms. But my own was just 3,000. All right? Of rivers resources must have happened in these two rivers, thereby bringing down the benthic organism values. So in conclusion, you should understand that this benthic fauna, they are for recycling of our nutrients. They are for breaking down organic matter, and they keep aquatic food ways to be healthy. So when they are destroyed, you know that the problem can be transferred to higher animals. Thank you for listening.
Face the audience.
My question is actually coming from the conclusion, which is try comparing your work with the one done in somewhere in the eastern part of Nigeria, where you observe that the amount of brine together. Okay, and the conclusion was that you suggest over harvesting of those microorganisms. I would want to look into your conclusion again, because somehow we know that the ecosystem varies from one place to the other. And knowing that the ecosystem varies from one place to the other, we also know that we have different organisms residing in different parts, in various niches. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to look into your conclusion again. I don't think your conclusion is actually justifiable based on the fact that we have different niches for different organisms, different reproduction rates, and different organisms in different ecosystems. I would have said anything in that light, but we never mentioned anything like that. So I want to look at your conclusion.
By the side of river state we have river Rhine and all that. And by the of the research we are only concentrating on local research to understand it on the urban level and the urban system. What happens to the river Rhine? So by the level of your research, the research level, at least your master or PhD level, we should have carried at least 2,000 stem rivers. For you to have known how the river Rhine also carrying it.
Thank you very much. It's not that. It's not that time. It's not that. Well, I only compared the two rivers. I just want to have one thing. Sorry. A case study. A case study. But there are like this river.
You understand? If the case study, you consider the river Rhine and this one village.
Okay, so what she's suggesting is that the kind of AI tools that you use in the identification, maybe when making the correction before you return it to the editor. Yes. So thank you very much. You can clap for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Citizen Protocol. My name is Gochi and the title of my paper is Artificial Intelligence for Inclusive and Equitable STEM Education in Nigeria: Opportunities, Challenges, and the Implications for Sustainable Development. We all know artificial intelligence has actually emerged as a transformative tool in global education systems, in offering innovative ways to teach and learn. It is a tool that cannot be overlooked, taken away from us. And we know STEM education means science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics education. And like we were rightly told yesterday, and it's also in this work, the art in it is not actually the art subject, but the innovative, the critical thinking aspect of science that is a part of it. So in this work, Nigeria, as Africa's most populous nation, is facing unique challenges in developing its human capital. Education is widely recognized as a cornerstone for national growth and sustainable development, especially in STEM disciplines. STEM disciplines are claimed to form the backbone of innovation, technological advancement, and socio-economic progress. However, despite policy frameworks emphasizing science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics education, Nigerian schools face persistent inequalities in teaching delivery and learners' learning. For instance, in urban centers, we are faced with factors like overcrowded classrooms and even limited teachers, while in the rural areas, they are faced with challenges such as they don't even have enough classrooms, they don't have network there, they have very poor or limited network facilities and stuff like that. So in Nigeria, we're actually faced with a lot of challenges to delivering quality education. And inclusive and equitable education addresses this systemic gaps by ensuring that all learners, irrespective of gender, socioeconomic background, disability, or geographic location, are provided with meaningful learning opportunities. In this, Number 4 and number 10. The fourth one talks about quality education. We need quality education wherever we are. And the 10th one talks about reduced inequalities, where everybody is meant to benefit the same way. So artificial intelligence presents a Nigeria. Inclusive simply ensures that all learners, regardless of gender, disability, socio-economic background, ethnicity or geographical location, have access to blind, lame, any form of disability, AI for the practical. And if you tell AI these materials are now available, it will even help you to develop the improvised materials for it. So it supports teachers and it enhances pedagogy. Contributes to sustainable development. Nevertheless, we also have challenges and ethical considerations, which I mentioned in my work, infrastructure and connectivity challenges. This one will face it very well. With a lot of connectivity challenges. You wake up in the morning, you don't even have network on your phone. Thank God to MTN. Then we said high costs of AI tools, teachers preparedness, social economy. The recommendations to address challenges is based in reliable electricity. And sort of has even left national grid. They have moved to.
Are you going to fully adapt to bring the learning?
I'm also looking at this topic. What is problem? No more life. Artificial intelligence for inclusive and equitable STEM for STEM education in Nigeria. Opportunities, challenges, and implications is much. It's much. And I'm seeing it. How many words? The West is about 17. How many words? 17. Looking at adding the opportunities here, challenges and implications. Everything is 17, right? Yeah. Everything is 17. For this topic can be different. Yeah, I know. But it can be different. So everything is over. You have been more. Let me just say this before. This whole work, number one, remove all the numbers of the subject. And I've been trying to identify or find any AI tool. I didn't say any AI tool. So I now ask, which AI tools will enable inclusive and equitable city education? All these difficulties that is there, and you should be able to see the suggestions about, okay, this tool, no, that tool, this one, because by the time you look at most of the AI tools that we have, those people that can see. Those people that can see. What is it? Which one do you see? Yes. But is that inclusive? Will enable inclusive education? I had that limit. No, it does not. It does not. And it was also people mentioning it in the sense that one that we have is a very thorough one that you have to go and pay, right? For the real one. That was what she said. But not that. She said that for those kind of AI tools that can ensure that and they add them to this work. Okay? That will make it better. Then one of the things reference. Remember to put that S and then I look at
the abstract. I'm not sure if it's up to the model. It's not aim and objectives of the study. The aim and the objectives of the study will be able to, you have them to guide the investigation, the discussion. The tables you have there and the figures, you didn't indicate the sources. Whether you were the one that have them. You have to revisit the use of parentheses. I saw areas where you use double parentheses, in-text. If you let me draw your attention to one page. If you go to page 5, the last not find any work. So also ensure that all that you have listed in the reference, that you cited all of them, you didn't match them. You don't have time to be able to match all. Then we didn't see suggestions, because this is a theoretical paper, an opinion paper, so you have to do the suggestions, visit the text, and minimize the number of bullets, because this is content or syllabus. So you have to, for each subsection, you write in rules and not in bullets. Because if we combine this now, I want to put it in the proceeding of stand, you discover that as you open it, you just look at it, it looks like a syllabus or maybe curriculum and bullets. So writing rules, each section, and read. Then improve on the app, I mentioned that one. Increase the keywords to 5. The keywords you have here, don't italicize them. You have 1, 2, 3. So we still have 2 more required from you. We need 2 more from you. Overall, the work is fine, but proofread it, make these corrections, and it will fly. Thank you very much. Okay, Reginald, M4. Reginald, M4.
And I'm here to present my work on applicability of GeoGebra in the teaching of graphical solutions to quadratic equation at senior secondary schools in Nigeria. Yes, actually, the GeoGebra tool is a software in mathematics that you use to teach mathematics. It makes the teachers a smart teacher in the 21st century. Now, this work is a descriptive work because we try to construct the GeoGebra software because it's actually a software that is not new outside the country, but in Nigeria here, most of the teachers are not really applying this particular software. So that is why we are using the GeoGebra software in teaching of graphical quadratic equations. So the GeoGebra, as I said, the GeoGebra software is an interactive software. When applied by teachers and learners, it bridges the gap between the abstractness and concreteness of the mathematics pedagogy. The use of this AI tools enhances the smart teaching of mathematics as well as make the subject very interesting. Hence, teachers must move with it.
We will not video those people now. We wait, let this phone charge small. We wait, let this phone charge small. I say we wait, let this phone charge small.
I'm not even going down again. This is the last place to be away.
What if Mr. Bright have gone? I saw him carrying his bag.
He don't go. We left him here yesterday. What you do, just
Three. When the second person presents, when the second person presents.
This paper, alongside Precious Chidima Amana, assessment of implementation of STEAM education approach at the basic level.
outrightly, the STEM education approach was a little bit one-sided because it was not broader in scope. It only focused on technology and related issues regarding technology. But however, other disciplines we are not actually captured. There was need for a broader horizon because of the challenges of the present time in health, education, and all facets of government needed interdisciplinary study. Hence, the need for STEAM education. There was need for interdisciplinary study. STEAM is actually an approach that is broader, that incorporates the arts, the humanities, and other aspects, all disciplines, into a collaborative framework in order to promote creativity, critical reasoning, and also make for meaningful learning. So, outrightly, it has shown that the incorporation of STEAM to teaching and learning has the tendency to promote students' creativity-related skills and critical reasoning. Hence, this paper investigated the assessment of implementation of STEAM education approach at the basic level in 16 junior secondary schools in Oyinbo Education Zone, Rivers Southeast Central Zone. It was actually a descriptive survey which investigated the implementation of STEAM education approach at the basic level. It was guided by two objectives and research questions. The population of the study consisted of 65 science teachers in the 16 junior secondary schools in Oyinbo Education Zone, Medical Southeast Central Zone. The sample also was 65 teachers because of the concise number of the science teachers at the basic level. The instrument for data collection using the level was within test with statistics, mean approach in teaching science at the basic level. Also, the awareness, inadequacies or unavailability of resources and facilities, teacher training tools, training programs, among others, based on these recommendations were made. Thank you.
check it. This thing will pick it. It will pick. Wait, I'm coming. This day.
Don't worry. Let's do to 60. Let's do to 60. We'll give you both. 69.
So, in the view of the book, the integration of AI and ML in chemistry education instruction involves a range of approaches, such as intelligent tutoring systems, visual lab, and personalized learning platform. So if the student system is embedded, or the AI is embedded in their system, at least it will help them to learn some of these topics personally in their phones. It will help them. These technologies use machine learning to dynamically adopt the student needs. It provides personalized instruction and feedback to them. As I said, chemistry is a very large topic, as we know, the science student. So some of the topics that you cannot cover, you can ask them to go to the AI, and the AI can teach them very well. Especially the teacher who is, these days, we know that our teachers, we know the people of our teachers. So if they use this AI to effect their teaching, give them the topic and ask them to go to AI and elaborate more on them. So I want to go to, I have some
I think it's annoying.
no, I mean subject, sorry. Object, object. So okay, let me give you the difference between AI and teaching.
Disappeared.
There are different types of problems solved and ML learning chemistry. Teachers should use this necessary digital literacy and technical skills to then navigate and utilize these technologies that will
I want to say this. Thank you for your work. I was not particularly happy, and I will say why. That is why you see my disposition. I'm not even sure of them. But I saw the name of the work. When you do work, don't just add me. Allow the person to look at it. You didn't do this work. This is not your work. This is already published paper. I'm so disappointed. So disappointed. Bro, look at this. Look at it. The paper was published in 2024. And you bring that paper like that. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? You think we are playing here? 24. We are not kidding here. Don't do that. said it is teach project. There's a column for
Sorry, I just felt like adding a little color to what we are doing. We will use students' code at the national level.
Are you online?
It does not even take like 5 minutes to go online with this fish. I say it does not take 5 minutes, 4 minutes to go online with this. Just one tap.
Have you started?
No, it's just science teachers that is showing.
Please, this thing, the sun is not there. It didn't charge much. Let's start comparing from here before I introduce.
Someone can hold it for you. Someone can hold for you.
Okay.
Okay, no, something like that.
Sorry, kind of famous.
No, no problem. No problem.
We are here. Whether you want to hear, we are almost done. That just said it.
Is it dark? It's a point light.
Wait.
I think we got it's okay where it is. I think
It's not dark, is it?
I don't want to because it's no follow. Come on. Come on.
Use it again.
I want the one that one.
Are we starting?
We are about starting. Please, let me. Fast.
You can see it anywhere. You can see that here.
Good evening, my able assessors. My name is Gladys Chicken from Canada Champions International Academy. I have a project to present titled Creating a reading light device and other useful products using waste materials. This is a reading light device. This is the main focus, what I've created to enable students learn and give them the That's encourage them to learn, both in the rural and urban areas. All of us know that high challenges are everywhere, is common in the whole globe, especially in developing countries like us. So there are some causes of these challenges. Some are caused due to poor lighting system. But in order to prevent it, but the point, when the thing is charged, you don't need any NEPA light, any electricity. You just plug it as you see now. If you watch, it's charging. And to power this. So what are the relevance of this? It is not only used to create this light, reading light device. We can also use it to make bulletproof door. This is a dummy door. If you open it, you can understand what I'm saying. These particles, the cast of it, the industries can buy this and use it to make all these bulletproof doors or canoes. This thing is as solid as stone. It's not easily breakable. If you try it, these are products for instructional materials. In the absence of real pawpaw, real fruits, or any object of your choice, flower, vase, anything you like, you can use it to make. This is mango. In the absence of the real object, you can use this as a teacher that is also resourceful to create these things for your teaching. If you throw it, just I don't want to break the ties. If you throw it 100 times, it will jump up and wait for you. So this is cheap and is affordable. It's easy to come by. Things we pick from waste bins and safe packets, refuse and safe packets. Things that we don't regard is a way of making the environment neat. Also sustaining our environment. By the time these things cluster, you see flooding, you see erosion disturbing the environment. So it's a way of creating job opportunity also. If somebody can engage in doing this, at the end of the day, you get a source of money. At least if I want to use it to be making instructional materials and be distributing to schools, I'll be earning my money from there. And likewise, selling their markets. There are other uses apart from this. There are many numerous to mention. So it's a very simple device that has been created. The cost is, as I said, it's very cheap. Everything put together. This, as we are seeing it, this is free. The dust is collected free. It was just collected from the soil. It's very cheap. I mean, it's not costly, it's free of charge. The resin is only the fuel. You buy maybe a small, you may not finish half a liter before you create a good object. For this one, this is a waste from packaging, all this electronic packaging material on that side. So that is what we have been able to create by God's grace. It's just a concept that should be disclosed.
Let me see your paper. So we can appreciate that when you bring in fuel, I run away, or 1 liter of petrol, you guys know where we are going. So that's where my problem is.
The cost implication.
Petrol. If we talk about something else, petrol that controls movement to market everywhere, it's like a problem. It's okay. So this one is about.
Yes, the content is very solid.
So is it what is generating the light for us?
Ma?
What is generating that light?
Okay, the source of the light is from either the sun or electricity, but it is this that is controlling it, so that it won't damage our eyes. The wall bracket made from this.
So that thing that is controlling the light, is it what you produce in
What?
the project?
Okay, ma. What I produce is the wall bracket that is controlling the light, so that it won't damage our eyes if we are reading under the broad
So
light.
that is one part of the project.
Yes, ma. This
And
particular.
then the second one is the teaching materials that are produced
Yes, ma.
using fuel.
Yes, ma. With the door, the content, bullet proof doors.
So there
So
now you
that's
have three
it.
things that you are presenting to
Yes.
us. Number one is what?
This is
Tell us the process of that.
Okay.
And then number two is this. Tell us the process of that. Number three is that. Then we will know that these are the things that are produced, trying to control waste within the environment.
okay. All put together, all of them, both the wall brackets, instructional materials, bullet proof doors, all of them put together. They are products of sawdust, this packaging material, and fuel. When you mix the fuel with this, you get a resin, you get an adhesive. Then with it, you turn it, stir it. The process, you just stir it and get a cap like this, something like this. You will mold, you need a mold. I didn't bring all those things because I know. So the mold I used was like a plate to get the shape of a wall bracket that will help in controlling this light so that it won't damage our eyes if we are exposed to direct.
These are we getting
Yes.
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 That plate that is like a control panel,
Device.
like we have in
the house.
Television. What is it called?
Mask.
Eh?
Mask. MTN
Mask.
mask.
The kind of this television mask and everything.
Yes,
Go TV.
No, it's not like that. This one is a bracket. Eh? Covering the light so that the direct ray of the light will not enter the eye of that person.
With this, we don't need to buy a glassy one. We can get our own.
No, you're telling me you mix this and the sort of.
Yes,
And
So
with
which
fuel.
way?
Yes, ma'am.
With the fuel.
Yes, ma'am.
You get that?
Yes. If you look at them,
The same sawdust
this
as
is
this
a
thing.
nail.
Get the
Break it, it will resist breakage.
The simple sawdust.
So what they do?
You can see the very strong. They are working with.
There will be need to bring the mold.
Yes,
No,
sir.
mold.
Okay,
So you can
you
mold.
said-
You can mold the shape
Mixture of this and the sawdust.
Sorry, you mix this sawdust with petrol.
Yes,
What
sir.
again? Just
You
twelve.
mix this one.
Yes.
Sawdust and petrol.
Sand.
Yes.
Okay, sawdust. Okay.
Those
Okay.
waste that
Okay.
cause blockage in the our drainage system. We
So
can recycle them and
three
make
things.
these systems.
Petrol, this, and sawdust.
Yes, sir.
Where's the pack and not the part of this?
No, sir. No, sir.
This is styrofoam. This is called styrofoam. Yes, styrofoam. But this styrofoam, how can we get it in large quantity?
When you go to all these electronic shops, they discard them. You pick it. Even
I
the
know.
refuse receptacle, you get them. So, in the absence of electricity, you use this. Unfortunately, the weather is not very good, so you can't see it.
Please, ma. You said this is bulletproof. You mean if I bring the bullet now?
Try it, ma. Let us try it now. Africa. Even as it is now, it will not work. Use that, ma.
Before you break that.
That's why.
So that's if you make some
No.
material with this,
It will stay for years.
banana, orange, and give the shape.
Yes.
That alone is a basis for what we are doing.
Anything,
Prof.
what the now arguing is about the fuel now.
Okay, that is
It's time when it's now coming at the right for
If there is a word for Prof, I don't need to understand my hair. So if there is a way of modernizing with water as a
Let's say creating useful product from waste material. They just the type of problem.
So, the question is that fuel there is a risk factor. When we are creating this, you must handle the fuel. because it's highly implemented. Apart from the cost, they are not using new quantity, but just more.
Creating useful.
Even the sawdust, you use those ones.
Yes.
Because of
but in the presentation, should showcase that and these other ones.
Because during the economy operation, the procedure has been operated.
I say the time.
It's unfriendly now.
Then you break the emphasis on light, so
yes, it should be.
creating everything like not wasting useful products from waste material. Then when you are talking, you're not bringing the light another thing.
Yes.
Now, if in the process it has not added, it can move.
Because if the light is here,
So now this one very easily breaks.
but that's the
waste now. Sort of.
this one shading down like this part of it is also a useful product.
I'm asking generally how many seats. Can we go beyond? Let's go for half price.
I just decided to no matter I'm not doing anything.
So it's okay. Generally, can we go beyond this with this? Can we take it to you? Yeah, we can. It's just like I say, make more mold of constructional material. Add more weight.
Make other constructional material.
More mold. Add. Let's take them to you. I'm sure it will be. It may be here. What do you say?
Yes.
River said teacher project.
And even something like knife edge for physics.
Yes.
This knife edge.
Okay, beautiful. Just get a more things. Add.
Working on it conference time. We will tell commissioner that this is teacher project.
Yes.
What we will be looking for now is
Student project.
quiz for students and
Student project.
Thank you.
So, Prof, you will also learn from person. They will now know how to do this.
Thank you.
The demonstration when she's defending it.
You're going to charge this thing.